What's up everyone? How are you all? Today we are back with another blazing Naruto story. What if Naruto neglected by family and family tried to reconnect? If you enjoy this what if, then please like, share and do comment, and also check out our Patreon page for unscored 18 plus Naruto story. So let us start the story.
Chapter 1. Sakura Haruno no longer counted days. At some point, waiting had stopped being about time and had become something heavier, something quieter. The training grounds lay dim beneath the fading orange of sunset, shadows stretching long across cracked earth. Sakura sat alone on a worn wooden bench near the village gates, her hands stained faintly with antiseptic herbs. Between her fingers rested a small sparrow, its wing trembling as she carefully wove chakra through fragile bone. Her control was flawless. Precise, cold, 3 years ago she would have panicked over something this delicate. Now her touch was steady enough to rebuild shattered tissue. Tsunade hadn't just taught her how to heal, she had reshaped Sakura into something sharper, something dangerous. And yet, her eyes flickered just for a second toward the gates. Empty, still empty, you're distracted. The voice echoed in her mind, not spoken, but remembered. Tsunade's constant criticism had long since embedded itself into Sakura's thoughts. Sakura exhaled slowly, forcing her focus back onto the bird. I know. The chakra thread tightened, sealing the final fracture. The sparrow stilled, then fluttered weakly, testing its wing. Alive, functional, perfect, Sakura released it, watching as it hesitated, then took flight into the darkening sky. Free, her fingers curled slightly. Lucky. A whisper barely audible, the wind shifted. For a moment the silence of Konoha pressed in around her, too calm, too still. It had been like this for years now, peaceful on the surface, but hollow underneath, and she hated how long it had taken her to notice. It hadn't always been this way. There had been a time when the village felt louder, brighter, annoying, even alive. The memory surfaced uninvited, a cramped apartment, tea growing cold. Ino sprawled lazily across the floor, Tenten flipping a kunai between her fingers, Hinata sitting too quietly in the corner, and Sakura back then complaining. It's boring, she had said, not even realizing what she was really feeling. She remembered the laughter that followed Hinata's soft confession. It's Naruto-kun. They had laughed, God, they had laughed. Sakura's jaw tightened slightly at the memory, because what came after that laughter? That was what stayed with her, Hinata standing, shaking, then snapping. Not the timid girl they all thought they knew, but someone fierce, someone unwavering, someone who saw Naruto in a way none of them had bothered to. Every word Hinata had thrown at them that night, it had cut deeper than any blade, not because it was loud, but because it was true. Naruto had been annoying, loud, embarrassing, but he had also been. The warmth in the village, the noise that filled the silence, the one person who never stopped trying, and when he disappeared, the silence he left behind had swallowed everything. Sakura closed her eyes. I was horrible to you. The confession slipped out into the empty air. Too late, always too late. She had spent the next 2 years changing, training until her muscles tore, studying until her vision blurred, standing beside Tsunade, not as a helpless girl, but as a kunoichi who could matter. But none of that erased the past. None of that changed the way she had looked at him back then. And yet, despite everything, she had still come here every evening for 3 weeks, waiting, not as the girl who used to brush him off, but as someone who didn't know what she would say when she finally saw him again. A faint sound, footsteps, Sakura's eyes snapped open. Her body reacted before her thoughts did, chakra surging instinctively through her system as she turned toward the gates. 2 figures, silhouettes against the dying light, one tall, broad. Familiar in presence alone, the other. Sakura's breath caught, orange, faded but unmistakable. Her heart slammed violently against her ribs. Naruto. The name barely left her lips. They stepped closer, details sharpened, white hair, red markings, Jirya, and beside him. Blonde, taller, lean, but coiled with something heavier than muscle. The boy she remembered wasn't there. This version of Naruto walked differently. No bouncing steps, no careless swagger. Each movement was measured, grounded, silent. Sakura stood slowly. Her hands trembled just slightly as her mind struggled to reconcile the image in front of her with the one she had carried for years. He stopped just beyond the gates, for a moment. Everything froze, no words, no dramatic reunion, just silence. Naruto lifted his head, their eyes met, and in that single instant, Sakura felt it, not warmth, not excitement, not the overwhelming, chaotic energy she had once associated with him. What she felt was cold, a depthless, suffocating cold that coiled beneath his gaze like something alive. Her breath hitched. Naruto. His expression didn't change, didn't soften, didn't react, if anything. His eyes darkened. Jirya said nothing. He didn't smile, didn't announce their return. He simply watched, like he was waiting for something or bracing for it. A strange pressure filled the air. Sakura's instincts screamed, danger, but from where? Her thoughts shattered. Naruto took a step forward. The ground beneath his foot cracked, not from strength, from something else, something wrong. His chakra. Sakura's pupils shrank. That wasn't normal. It wasn't just dense. It wasn't just powerful. It felt unstable, violent, like it was barely being held together, like something inside him was trying to tear its way out. Her medical senses flared instinctively. And what she felt next made her blood run cold. No. It wasn't just Naruto's chakra. There was something else inside it, something twisted, something hungry. Naruto's lips parted slightly, not in a smile, not in greeting, but like he was about to say something he had been holding in for a very long time. And then the sky above Konoha trembled, a pulse, invisible, but heavy enough to make Sakura's knees weaken. Jirya's expression hardened instantly. So it starts now. Oh. Sakura's head snapped toward him. What? Naruto's voice cut through the air, low, calm, unfamiliar. They found me. The words barely settled. Before the ground beneath the village shuddered violently, far in the distance. An explosion tore through the horizon, not outside Konoha. Inside it, screams followed, and Naruto didn't move to help, didn't react, didn't even look surprised. He just stood there, staring straight at Sakura, as his eyes slowly bled into a deep, unnatural red.
Naruto finally came back, but not the Naruto they remember. The boy who once filled Konoha with noise and life now stand in silence, his presence heavy, cold, terrifying. Sakura waited for 3 years to see him again, and in one moment everything felt wrong. His chakra unstable, his eyes changing, and before anyone could understand what was happening, Konoha itself was attacked from within. But here is the real question. Did the enemy follow Naruto back? Yeah, is Naruto the beginning of something far worse? What do you think is happening to him? Chapter 2 is where everything breaks.
Chapter 2. The explosion still echoed across Konoha, not just in the distance, but in Sakura's chest. For a split second, everything had felt like it was about to collapse, the sky trembling, Naruto's voice turning unfamiliar, that presence inside him clawing at the surface. And then, he looked at her not as a stranger, not as a threat, but as Naruto. That fragile moment broke her. Sakura ran, her body moved before her mind could catch up, sandals striking hard against the ground as tears blurred her vision. Fear, relief, confusion, everything tangled together as she closed the distance between them. Naruto. She didn't stop, didn't hesitate, she crashed into him. Her arms wrapped tightly around his torso, gripping him like he might disappear again if she loosened her hold even slightly. Her forehead pressed into his chest as her shoulders shook. For 3 years, she had imagined this moment, but not like this, not with the world trembling around them. Naruto stiffened. For a heartbeat, his body didn't respond. His mind lagged behind the moment, caught somewhere between instinct and disbelief. Sakura, of all people, of all possible outcomes. This was not something he had prepared for. His hands hovered awkwardly in the air before slowly settling against her back. Hey, Sakura-chan. His voice came out softer than expected, careful, measured, didn't think I'd get a welcome like this. Sakura only tightened her grip. Her voice cracked. You're late. It wasn't anger, it wasn't even accusation, just truth. Naruto let out a faint breath, something unreadable flickering behind his eyes. Yeah, I guess I am. For a moment, just a moment, the darkness around him seemed to quiet. Behind them, Jirya watched, silent. His usual grin was gone, replaced by something far more serious. His gaze lingered not on Sakura, but on Naruto's back, on the subtle tremor in his chakra, on the way the air around him warped ever so slightly. "This isn't over," he muttered under his breath. Without another word he turned. "I'm heading to see Tsunade." Naruto didn't look back. Yeah, do that. No complaints, no childish protests. That alone made Jirya pause just for a second. "Stay alive, kid." Oh. Then he vanished into the village. Sakura slowly pulled back. Her hand still rested against Naruto's chest as she looked up at him properly for the first time, and her breath caught. He had changed, not just taller, not just stronger. There was something else, something behind his eyes, something heavy. But then he smiled, and for a fleeting second, she saw him again, the Naruto she remembered. "I missed you," she said quietly. Naruto's expression flickered. "I know. Not I missed you too, not immediately, just." I know it was subtle, but Sakura felt it, a small crack in the moment, still. She pushed forward. "You know, things weren't the same without you." Naruto tilted his head slightly. "Really?" "Yeah," she exhaled, forcing a small smile. "Turns out you weren't just loud and annoying." Naruto raised an eyebrow. "That's a new one." Sakura almost laughed, but it faded quickly. "There was balance when you were around." The word lingered, balance. Naruto's gaze darkened for a fraction of a second. "Balance, huh?" He looked away, toward the village, toward the smoke rising faintly in the distance. Something unreadable crossed his face. Sakura noticed, of course she did, but before she could press further, she clapped her hands lightly, forcing energy back into her voice. "Come on, you just got back, let's go to Ikaraku's." Naruto blinked for a second. "Nothing, then." Nikaraku. The word hit something deep, something old, something safe, and just like that, his expression shifted. "Yeah." Oh. A small grin formed. "Yeah, let's go." Oh. The streets of Konoha felt different. People were moving, whispers spreading. That explosion hadn't gone unnoticed, but Naruto walked through it all like none of it mattered. Sakura stayed close, too close, watching him, studying him, every step, every breath, trying to understand what had changed. And what hadn't. They reached Ikaraku, the familiar warmth, the smell of broth, the quiet clatter of bowls. It almost felt like nothing had changed. Almost. Naruto sat and ate, fast, too fast, bowl after bowl disappearing as if he hadn't eaten in days. Sakura watched him carefully. Some things really didn't change. But even here, even now, she could feel it, that same pressure, that same instability. Like something beneath the surface was constantly shifting, waiting. "So," Naruto spoke between bites, "you dragged me here, what's up?" Sakura leaned forward slightly. There it was, her chance. Hinata. Naruto paused just for a fraction of a second, then continued eating. "What about her?" Sakura narrowed her eyes slightly. "She hasn't been herself since you left." Naruto shrugged. "I've been gone, people change." "That's not what I meant." He stopped eating, this time fully. The silence stretched. "Then what do you mean?" Sakura hesitated, careful. She needed to do this right. "She cares about you, a lot more than you realize." Naruto blinked once, twice, then leaned back slightly. "Huh. That was it, just." How Sakura's eye twitched. "That's your reaction." "Oh, what?" He frowned. "You want me to panic or something?" "I want you to understand." Naruto scratched the back of his head. "I mean, she's nice." Sakura stared at him in disbelief. Unbelievable, absolutely. Unbelievable, but then. Naruto spoke again, quieter. "I thought about her." Sakura froze. "What?" He didn't look at her, his gaze dropped slightly. "A lot." The air shifted, not violently, but noticeably. Sakura felt it instantly. Naruto continued. "Even when I didn't want to, she kept showing up." His hand tightened slightly around the chopsticks. in dreams, in training, in. He stopped, exhaled slowly. It was annoying. Sakura stared at him, then, slowly, a small smile formed. You're hopeless. Naruto glanced at her. What? Oh, but Sakura just shook her head. You'll figure it out. Because now she knew whatever this was, whatever he had become, that part of him was still there. Outside, watching, waiting, Hinata Hyuga stood in the shadows. Her Byakugan wasn't active. It didn't need to be. She had already seen enough. Sakura, too close, too comfortable, too familiar. Her fingers trembled, not from fear, but from something far more dangerous. Sakura. The name left her lips like a warning, like a challenge. For 3 years she had waited, watched, hoped, and now, the moment Naruto returned, Sakura was already by his side, laughing, smiling, blushing. Something inside Hinata cracked. Inside Ikaraku. Naruto reached for another bowl and suddenly stopped mid-motion. His hand froze in the air. Sakura noticed instantly. Naruto. No response. His eyes shifted, not toward her, not toward the food, but toward the entrance. Slowly, very slowly, his head turned. Hinata stepped inside. The air changed, not violently, not loudly, but enough for Naruto's entire body to tense, enough for Sakura's instincts to flare again, enough for something inside Naruto to react, hungrily. Sakura. Hinata's voice cut through the space, sharp, unfamiliar. Gone was the softness, gone was the hesitation. This was something else. Sakura stood immediately. Hinata, wait. Naruto didn't move, didn't speak. He just stared at Hinata, unblinking. And deep inside him, something stirred, something ancient, something that recognized her. Not as a friend, not as an ally, but as a trigger. Naruto's fingers twitched, his chakra spiked. Violently, the wooden counter beneath his hand cracked. Sakura's eyes widened. Naruto. Hinata took another step forward, anger blazing in her eyes. Stay away from him. Naruto smiled, not warmly, not kindly, but like something wearing his face had just found exactly what it was looking for. Naruto's smile didn't fade, if anything. It deepened, not with warmth, but with something sharp, something watching. Stay away from him. Hinata's voice still echoed in the air when it happened. Naruto's fingers tightened. The cracked wood beneath his hands splintered further. And then, his body jerked, a violent cough tore through his chest. The smile vanished instantly, his throat constricted. Air gone, his hand flew to his neck as he choked, ramen catching wrong, breath refusing to come back. For a split second, neither girl moved, too caught in the tension, too focused on each other. Then, Naruto dropped to his knees. It's Naruto. Both voices hit at once, sharp, panicked, real, the illusion shattered. Hinata moved first. Instinct overrode everything, jealousy, anger, doubt gone in an instant. Her stance shifted fluidly, gentle fist activating with precise control. She stepped in, palm striking his upper chest, not with force, but with surgical accuracy. A pulse of chakra disrupted the blockage. Naruto gagged, then coughed violently. Half-chewed ramen hit the ground. Air rushed back into his lungs. He gasped, once, twice, greedy, desperate, alive. Sakura dropped beside him immediately, her hands already glowing faint green out of reflex. I'm so sorry, Naruto, I should've. Hinata was already behind him, her hands hovering uncertainly before settling gently against his back. Are you okay, Naruto-kun? Her voice had changed again, soft, fragile, like nothing had happened. Naruto stayed on one knee, breathing hard. Then, slowly, he laughed, a rough, uneven sound. Guess I still suck at eating, huh? He pushed himself up, unsteady for just a second. Then stable, back to normal, too normal. Sakura's eyes narrowed slightly. That spike disappeared too fast. Hinata didn't notice, she was too focused on him. I'm fine, Naruto said, brushing it off like it meant nothing. Thanks, Hinata. Her breath caught. Just from that, just from him saying her name. Then Naruto blinked. Wait. He looked between them. What were you yelling about? What? Hinata froze. Color rushed to her face instantly. I yeep. The moment crashed back onto her. The accusation, the jealousy, the fear, all of it. Before she could collapse into it. Sakura grabbed her wrist. Actually, we need to talk. No hesitation, no room for argument. She pulled Hinata toward the exit, fast, controlled. Naruto stared after them, completely lost. Huh. The door flap swayed as they disappeared. Silence returned. Naruto scratched his cheek. Weird. Then he sat back down like nothing had happened. Oi, old man, another bowl. From behind the counter, Tsuchai blinked. You just choked. Naruto shrugged. Yeah. And I am snorted under her breath. Tsuchai shook his head, already preparing the next serving. Some things never change. But even as he said it, his eyes lingered on Naruto a moment longer than usual, because something had changed. He just didn't know what. Outside, the air felt colder, heavier. Sakura didn't stop walking until they were far enough. Then she turned. Hinata, listen to me. Hinata's chest rose and fell rapidly. Her emotions were still tangled, anger fading, embarrassment rising, hope fighting its way through all of it. I thought, why you and Naruto? It's not like that. Firm, immediate, no hesitation. Hinata blinked. Sakura stepped closer. I wasn't with him like that. I was trying to help you. Silence. Hinata's eyes widened. And me. Sakura nodded. Do you really think I'd do that to you? Hinata hesitated, then slowly shook her head. No. The tension cracked just a little. Sakura exhaled. Good, because you need to hear this. She landed slightly, lowered her voice. He thinks about you. Hinata stopped breathing. W what? Not just once, not casually, a lot. Every word hit harder than the last. He told me himself. Hinata's fingers curled tightly. Her entire body trembled. And no, that's... It's true. Sakura smirked slightly, and he wasn't exactly calm talking about it either. That did it. Hinata's face exploded into red. Her mind overloaded instantly. And Naruto-kun dreams about Emmy. Her eyes gave out. Sakura caught her just in time. Hey, don't pass out on me now. Too late. Hinata's eyes rolled slightly as she went limp. Seriously. Sakura sighed, adjusting her grip. A light tap to the cheek. Another. Hinata, wake up. A few seconds later. Hinata blinked slowly, reality flooding back in. Are you sure? Her voice was barely there. Sakura smiled, positive. Something shifted inside Hinata, not violently, not like before, but something steady, for the first time since Naruto returned. Hope outweighed fear. Sakura leaned closer. I have an idea. Hinata swallowed. A plan. A whisper, a quiet strategy, something bold, something risky, something Hinata would have never considered before. But now, okay. She nodded because this time, she refused to miss her chance again. Back at Ikaraku. Naruto leaned back, finishing his last bowl, satisfied, full, unbothered at least. On the surface, the curtain shifted, footsteps approached, light, familiar. Naruto didn't look up immediately. Took you long enough. He smirked slightly. They're back, Tsuchai muttered. Naruto finally lifted his gaze and froze. Something was different, not just their expressions, not just the way they walked. The air around them had changed. Sakura smiled, too calm, too controlled. Hinata stepped forward, nervous, but determined, her hands clenched tightly at her sides, her eyes locked onto Naruto. No hesitation, no retreat. And deep inside Naruto, that presence stirred again, stronger this time, more aware, more focused. Oh, yes. Oh. Naruto's smile slowly faded. Because for the first time since returning, he felt it clearly. That thing inside him wasn't reacting to danger. It was reacting to Hinata. And it was getting excited.
Naruto is back in Konoha, but something inside him is not right. What should have been a simple reunion turned into something far more dangerous. Hinata stepped forward with courage she never had before, but the moment she did, Naruto chakra reacted. Not with warmth, not with recognition, but something darker, something alive. It was not a fear, it was not a anger, it was interest. So now the real question is, why is whatever inside Naruto reacting especially to Hinata? And what happens when it fully awakens? Chapter 3 is only getting started.
Chapter 3. Night had settled over Konoha. But it wasn't peaceful, not anymore. The air carried something uneasy, like the village itself could feel it, waiting, watching. Inside the Hawkage Tower, the lights were still on, barely. A single lamp flickered across scattered paperwork, broken seals, and an almost empty bottle of sake resting dangerously close to the edge of the desk. 7. Tsunade slept slouched in her chair, not peacefully, not deeply. Her breathing was uneven, brows slightly furrowed even in unconsciousness. Stress had carved itself into her habits, into her sleep. For 3 years she hadn't truly rested, not since she sent him away. The window creaked, a shadow slipped through, silent, familiar. Jirya landed lightly inside, dusting off his cloak as his gaze immediately fell on her. Still like this, huh? There was no humor in his voice, only something tired. For a moment he simply watched her, then the old habits returned. He leaned forward slightly, inhaling. For his sake, he didn't get to finish. Tsunade's fist connected with his face before the words even fully formed. The impact exploded through the room. Wood splintered, glass shattered. Jirya disappeared through the far wall in a violent blur. Outside, a distant crash echoed near the gates. 2 guards didn't even flinch. Again. Again. Back in the office. Tsunade stood there, fists still clenched, breathing slow, controlled. Idiot. But her voice lacked its usual edge. Minutes later, Jirya walked back in, bruised, bleeding slightly, completely unfazed. You're getting faster. Tsunade didn't respond. She had already sat back down, but now she was fully awake. Silence lingered, then report. No jokes, no games. Jirya exhaled. The training was successful. A pause. He improved faster than expected. Control, stamina, even his Rasengan evolved beyond what I thought he could handle. Tsunade nodded once. That part she expected. But Jirya didn't stop, and we didn't encounter outside interference. Another pause, longer this time, but that's not the whole story. Tsunade's eyes sharpened instantly. What happened? Jirya looked at the floor, choosing his words carefully, which was rare. He changed. That alone was enough, but he continued, not just skill-wise, something deeper. Tsunade leaned forward slightly. Explain. Jirya's voice lowered. His chakra isn't separate anymore. Silence heavy. What do you mean? Jirya met her eyes. I mean, I can't tell where Naruto ends and where the Nine Tails begins. The room froze. Tsunade stood up slowly. That's not possible. But her voice lacked certainty. Jirya didn't argue. I thought the same. He ran a hand through his hair. At first it was subtle, his reserves increased, his recovery speed got abnormal, then the night started. Tsunade's expression darkened. What nights? Jiraiya's jaw tightened. Some nights he'd look peaceful, too peaceful. Smiling in his sleep like nothing in the world could touch him. A flicker of something passed his eyes, but others. He stopped, he'd break. Tsunade didn't interrupt. He wouldn't wake up, Jiraiya continued. Didn't respond, didn't react, just endured it. Endured what? Jiraiya's voice dropped, pain. The word echoed. He'd clutch his stomach like something inside him was tearing itself apart, like something was fighting to get out or being forced to stay in. Tsunade's fists clenched, and you let it continue. Jiraiya's eyes hardened. I didn't have a choice. That hit harder than anything else. He wasn't losing control, Jiraiya said. He was absorbing it. Tsunade froze. 9 times, Jiraiya added quietly. It happened 9 times. The number settled like a weight. And after each one, he continued, he got stronger. Not trained stronger, not improved, stronger, like something was being added to him. Tsunade's voice was barely above a whisper. 9. Jiraiya nodded. Understanding dawned slowly, terribly. The tails, she said. Jiraiya didn't confirm it. He didn't need to. Tsunade turned away, her mind racing, calculating, failing to find answers. Do we need to worry? She asked finally. Jiraiya didn't answer immediately. That alone was enough to make her uneasy. I don't know. Honest, raw, unfiltered. He says he's fine, Jiraiya added, and physically he is, better than ever. But there are moments, he said slowly, where it feels like I'm not looking at him anymore. Tsunade closed her eyes just for a second. I'll speak to him. Her voice returned to steel. Tomorrow. Jiraiya nodded, then turned toward the broken wall. Try not to punch me through the tower next time. She didn't even look at him. Next time I won't stop at one punch. He smirked, then disappeared into the night. Silence returned. Tsunade stood alone in the dim office. The bottle of sake still sat on her desk, untouched now. Slowly, she reached into a drawer, pulled out a photograph. 4. Naruto smiling, bright, unbreakable. Her grip tightened slightly. What did you go through? The question wasn't meant to be answered. For years, she had carried the weight of loss, of people she couldn't protect, of bonds that shattered too soon. She had buried it, drowned it, ignored it. But Naruto, he wasn't supposed to be another regret. Her expression softened just slightly. You should have come back the same. A selfish thought, one she knew was impossible. Outside, another distant tremor shook the village, subtle but real. Tsunade's eyes snapped toward the window. Something was moving, not just physically, but beneath the surface. And for the first time, she felt it clearly. Whatever had returned with Naruto wasn't just power. It was the beginning of something Konoha wasn't ready for. The tremor hadn't stopped, not really. It lingered beneath everything, like a heartbeat Konoha couldn't silence. Inside Ikaraku, the warmth returned, at least on the surface. The soft clatter of bowls, the rising steam, the familiar smell of broth, it all tried to mask what had been building since Naruto stepped back into the village. Tried. And failed. Naruto sat there watching, not eating this time. Watching, the curtain shifted, footsteps approached, light, measured, different. Sakura and Hinata stepped back inside, but something had changed, not just in posture, not just in expression, something deeper, something decided. Naruto tilted his head slightly. What's so funny? His voice was casual, too casual. The girls exchanged a glance, a shared secret, a quiet understanding. Then Sakura stepped forward. Oh, nothing you need to worry about. Her tone was light, carefully light, too carefully. Naruto's eyes narrowed just a fraction. I actually have to go, Sakura added, already turning slightly. Something I need to handle. A pause, then. Hinata said she'd stay with you. What? Naruto blinked once, processing. Before he could question it. Sakura was already gone, fast, too fast. Silence settled. Naruto turned slowly. Hinata stood there, alone, her fingers pressed together nervously, gaze lowered, shoulders tense, the same girl, and yet not the same. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Naruto looked away first. A faint warmth crept into his face, unexpected, unfamiliar. His mind flickered, fragments, dreams, memories that weren't fully his. What? He clenched his jaw slightly, focus. And Naruto-kun. Her voice broke the silence, soft, unsteady, real. He looked back at her, yeah. What? Hinata swallowed, then. Would you maybe go for a walk with me? What? Naruto froze, not because of the question, but because of the way his chest tightened, suddenly, sharply. Something inside him shifted, not violently, but noticeably, like it was paying attention. Yeah, he said quietly, let's go. What? They walked side by side, through streets that felt too narrow, too quiet. People watched, not openly, but enough. The earlier explosion, the tension in the air, it hadn't gone unnoticed. Neither of them spoke much, words came in fragments, small, careful. Like both were standing at the edge of something they didn't fully understand. Naruto glanced at her, then away, then back again. Hinata's hands trembled slightly at her sides. Say something. The thought wasn't entirely his. Naruto's hand moved, slow, deliberate. He reached out and took hers. Their fingers intertwined. Hinata froze, her entire body locking up for a split second. Naruto reacted instantly, too fast, too precise. He caught her before she could collapse. Easy, he murmured. She didn't fully faint this time, just faltered. Her body langed into him, unsteady but conscious. Yes, Lori. Her voice was barely there. Naruto didn't let go. You okay? What? Hinata nodded weakly, but her grip tightened. They reached the park. Quiet, empty, moonlight filtering through the trees. Naruto guided her down gently beneath a large tree, sitting with his back against the trunk. She stayed close, closer than before. For a moment, there was peace. Naruto looked down at her, really looked, not the way he used to, not casually, not blindly. No, he saw her. The way her eyes softened when she looked at him, the way her breath hitched when their hands touched, the way she stayed. Even when she was afraid. Hinata. Her name came out quieter than he expected. She looked up, meeting his gaze fully. And something inside Naruto reacted. Not violently, not yet. But it was there, watching, learning. Hinata felt it too. She didn't understand it, but she felt it. A strange pressure behind his eyes, behind his smile. And still, she didn't pull away. Naruto's hand shifted slightly, holding hers tighter. Why, he hesitated for once. Words didn't come easily. I thought about you. Hinata's breath caught. A lot. The confession hung between them, fragile, dangerous, real. Naruto's eyes flickered for just a second. That red glint returned, gone as quickly as it came. I didn't understand it at first, he continued, but I couldn't ignore it. Hinata's lips parted slightly. En Naruto-kun. He leaned closer, slowly, carefully. The distance between them disappeared. Their foreheads nearly touched, breath mixing. Time slowed. And then, Hinata moved first. Not out of fear, not out of hesitation, but choice. She closed the distance. Their lips met. Soft, brief, real. Naruto froze. For half a heartbeat. Then responded not aggressively, not recklessly, but with something deeper, something that had been building for years. For a moment, nothing else existed. No village, no danger, no darkness. Just this. But inside Naruto, that presence surged. Not rejecting it, not resisting. Embracing it. Closer. Naruto's grip tightened unconsciously. Hinata felt it, a flicker of discomfort, hidden beneath warmth. And then, a scream. Sharp, distant, but unmistakable. The moment shattered. Naruto's head snapped up, eyes wide, then narrowing instantly. That red flicker returned, stronger this time. Hinata pulled back slightly. What was that? Naruto stood slowly, his expression gone, not confused, not concerned. Focused and cold, far across the village. Another explosion lit the sky. This time, closer, and Naruto smiled, not like before. This one didn't belong to him.
Naruto and Hinata finally closed the distance. After a year of silence, doubt, and mischance, they choose each other. But the moment it happened, something inside Naruto responded. Not with love, not with faith, but with something darker, something watching from within. And just as their words finally aligned, a scream shattered everything, an explosion lit the village, and Naruto did not react like a hero. He smiled. So now the question is Naruto still protecting Konoha, or is he becoming the very thing that will destroy it? Chapter 4 is where the truth begins to surface.
Chapter. Night refused to end, even after the scream. Even after the explosion. Even after that moment. When something inside Naruto had smiled. The park stood still, too still, like it was holding its breath. Naruto stepped forward, instinctively, positioning himself between Hinata and the darkness beyond the trees, not out of thought. Out of something deeper, something automatic. But his eyes, they weren't the same. A faint red glow flickered beneath the surface, not fully visible, but present, watching, waiting. Hinata noticed, her fingers tightened slightly around his sleeve. Naruto-kun. Her voice trembled, not from fear of the danger outside, but from the unfamiliar presence standing in front of her. Naruto didn't answer immediately. His gaze swept the park, calculating, listening. Then, a faint rustle. His head snapped toward the trees. 3 points, 3 possible positions. Without hesitation. His hand moved, 3 shuriken flashed through the air, silent, precise, deadly. The night broke. A sharp gasp. A stumble. A figure dropped from one of the trees with a heavy thud. Naruto's eyes narrowed, then recognition. Sakura. The tension shattered just slightly. Sakura groaned, pushing herself up, rubbing the side of her head. Okay, ow, that was deserved. Hinata stepped forward instantly, her earlier fear shifting into something sharper. Sakura. Her voice was low, dangerously calm. Sakura froze. Before you say anything, I can explain. Naruto's gaze lingered on her, longer than it should have, like he was checking something, confirming something. Then slowly, the red flicker faded. You better, he said quietly. Sakura raised her hands slightly in surrender. I wasn't trying to spy for anything bad, I swear. Hinata's eyes narrowed. Then what were you doing? Sakura hesitated, then. Making sure you didn't run away. Silence. Hinata blinked once, twice. What? Sakura sighed. I left on purpose so you two could talk. She glanced at Naruto, then back at Hinata. I just stayed close enough to make sure you actually did. Hinata's face turned red instantly, and no, I. Naruto tilted his head slightly, so this was planned. Sakura winced, kind of. The pause. Naruto exhaled slowly. That's annoying. Hinata flinched. But he added quietly, it worked. That was enough. Hinata's entire expression softened, relief flooding in. Sakura grinned. I figured it would. Then, she leaned closer to Naruto, lowered her voice. Try not to mess it up. Naruto blinked. What does that even mean? Too late, she had already pulled back, smirking. Hinata, still recovering, instinctively moved closer to Naruto, this time. Without hesitation. He responded just as naturally, his arms settling lightly around her, steady, grounding. For a moment, everything felt normal again. You shouldn't have watched, Naruto said finally, glancing at Sakura. I know, she admitted, but I'm not sorry. Hinata huffed softly, but there was no real anger left. You're impossible. Sakura beamed, I've been told. A quiet pause followed, then. Sakura stepped back. I'll leave you two alone now, for real this time. Naruto gave her a look, you better. She turned, then stopped, glancing over her shoulder. Take care of each other. Then she was gone. Silence returned, but softer this time. Naruto looked down slightly at Hinata. Hina. The name came out naturally. Her breath caught Naru-kun. No hesitation now, no distance. Just closeness. They walked together through the quiet streets, hand in hand, no words needed. When they reached the edge of the Hyuga district, they stopped just before the gates. Neither wanted to say it, but both knew. Tomorrow, Naruto asked. Hinata nodded, tomorrow. A pause, then. A soft kiss, short but meaningful. And just like that, they parted. Naruto turned, walking alone now. But not truly alone. Because that presence hadn't disappeared. It had only quieted. Elsewhere hidden, watching. A figure shifted within the shadows of a distant rooftop, eyes sharp, focused. So that's what triggers it. A low murmur, thoughtful, interested. The man smirked slightly. This just got a lot more interesting. Naruto reached his apartment. The door creaked open. Dusk greeted him. Silence followed. It felt empty. He stepped inside, closed the door behind him. For the first time since returning, he was alone. The room felt heavier, darker. Naruto stood still. Then, you can come out. Silence. Then, on shift. Jiraiya stepped into view from the window. You sensed me. Naruto didn't turn. You weren't hiding very well. Jiraiya studied him carefully. Tsunade wants to see you tomorrow. Naruto nodded. I figured. The pause. Naruto. He finally turned. Jiraiya's expression hardened slightly. Something's off. Naruto smiled. But it didn't reach his eyes, I know. That answer was worse than denial. Jiraiya didn't press further, not yet. Get some rest. Then he was gone. Naruto lay down, staring at the ceiling. Sleep came quickly, too quickly. And when it did, he wasn't alone. Darkness endless, and eyes, massive, ancient, burning, watching him from behind unseen bars. But this time, they weren't struggling. They were smiling. Naruto stepped forward in the dream, unafraid. You're different. The voice echoed not from outside, but from within him. Naruto didn't respond. The chains cracked just slightly, and somewhere far away, in the real world, another scream echoed through Konoha. The scream didn't fade, it echoed through walls, through streets, through him. Naruto stood in the empty space of his apartment, unmoving, but his mind was somewhere else. Darkness endless. Those eyes again. Watching, waiting, no longer raging, no longer chained in desperation. Come, you're challenging. The voice didn't come from outside. It came from everywhere, from the ground beneath him, from the air around him, from inside his own chest. Naruto didn't flinch, didn't deny it. So are you. Silence followed, heavy, acknowledging. Then, a crack. Not loud, not explosive, but enough. Naruto's eyes snapped open, back in the real world. Morning light filtered through the window, too peaceful, too normal. He sat up slowly, running a hand through his hair. The dream lingered, not like a nightmare, but like a conversation left unfinished. Yeah, something's definitely wrong. He moved through his morning routine mechanically. Water, food, movement. All of it felt distant, like he was watching himself from the outside. But beneath it, that presence remained, quiet, listening. Naruto stepped out into the village. Everything looked the same, people walking, shops opening, voices rising. But it felt different, like something unseen was threading through it all, pulling, shifting. He didn't notice the moment it happened. A body collided with his. Groceries spilled across the ground. Naruto blinked. Oh, sorry, I wasn't looking. The woman straightened quickly, brushing dust from her clothes. It's all right. Naruto paused, recognition flickering. Wait. She smiled faintly. Been a while. Then it clicked. Hana, Kiba's sister, right? She nodded. For a moment, her eyes lingered on him. Longer than expected. Not just recognition, not just surprise. Assessment. You've changed, she said quietly. Naruto rubbed the back of his neck. Yeah, I get that a lot. She crouched to pick up the groceries. Naruto immediately followed, gathering the rest before she could reach them. I'll carry these. Hana hesitated, then nodded. Thanks. They walked side by side. Naruto's thoughts drifted. Something's off. Sakura, Hinata, now this. People were reacting to him differently, looking at him differently. Or maybe he was the one who had changed. They reached her house. Hana took the bags back from him. I appreciate it. Naruto shrugged lightly. No problem. She hesitated just for a second, then leaned forward. A brief, friendly gesture. Before stepping back quickly, see you around. Naruto stood there, still. That's new. He stared at the closed door for a moment longer than necessary, then shook his head. Okay, yeah, something's definitely wrong with this village. He turned and ran. The Hawkage Tower loomed ahead. Naruto didn't slow, didn't hesitate. He passed the guards with a quick greeting and pushed through the doors. Inside, Tsunade stood at her desk, waiting. The moment she saw him, something in her expression shifted, relief, concern, something deeper. You're late. Naruto smirked slightly, just a little. But she was already moving, closing the distance, grabbing him, pulling him into a tight embrace. Naruto stiffened for a second, then relaxed. Yeah, I'm back. Tsunade didn't respond immediately. Her grip tightened slightly, as if confirming he was real. Then she pulled away, her expression hardened, professional, controlled. Was it? Naruto obeyed. The room fell silent. Then, Jiraiya told me. Naruto's eyes flickered. About what? Tsunade didn't look away. About what happened to you. The pause. Naruto leaned back slightly. Then you already know. I want to hear it from you. Silence stretched. Naruto exhaled slowly. It hurt. Simple, honest. Tsunade's hands clenched slightly on the desk. Every time, he continued, like something was tearing itself apart inside me. Her gaze sharpened. But now, Naruto added quietly, it's quiet. That wasn't reassuring. That was worse. Tsunade stepped closer. I need to check something. Naruto didn't argue. Her hands hovered just above him, chakra flowing, careful, precise. She scanned slowly, thoroughly. And what she felt made her expression darken. It's stable, she whispered, but beneath that, something else. Too stable. Naruto tilted his head slightly. That's bad. Tsunade didn't answer immediately. It means whatever's happening. She looked him directly in the eyes, has already settled. The words lingered. Naruto didn't react, not outwardly. But inside, something stirred. Tsunade stepped back. For now, you're cleared for duty. Naruto stood, good. But as he turned to leave, Naruto, he stopped. If anything feels wrong, anything at all, you come to me immediately. The pause. Naruto glanced back. And for a split second, those red eyes flickered again. Yeah. Then he walked out. Tsunade stood alone. Her hands trembled slightly. That's not just the Nine Tails anymore. Outside, Naruto stepped into the sunlight and smiled, not because he felt okay, but because, for the first time, he wasn't sure who was smiling anymore. The smile didn't leave his face, even after he stepped out of the Hawkage Tower, even after the door closed behind him. But it wasn't relief, it wasn't embarrassment, not really. Too stable. Tsunade's words echoed in his head, over and over. Naruto walked through the village slowly this time, not rushing, not distracted. Thinking, or at least, trying to. So that's what she felt. His voice was low, barely above a whisper. Inside, that presence shifted, listening. Naruto clenched his jaw. You're not taking over. Silence. Then, a faint ripple, not resistance, not denial. Amusement. Naruto exhaled sharply. Yeah, that's what I thought. He kept walking, but his direction had already been decided. Hinata, the name alone, shifted something inside him. Not violently, not yet, but enough. I need to see her. The words came out firmer this time, grounding, real. And for a moment, that presence quieted. The Hyuga estate stood tall, silent, imposing. Naruto slowed as he approached, not from fear, but awareness. This wasn't just any place, this was her world. Two guards stepped forward, state your name and purpose. Naruto met their gaze without hesitation. Naruto Uzumaki. The pause. I'm here to see Hinata. The air shifted, subtle but noticeable. The guards exchanged a glance, then stepped aside. Before Naruto could question it, the gates opened. Not slowly, not cautiously. Deliberately. Naruto's eyes narrowed slightly. A figure stood beyond them, still, composed, watching. Hayashi Hyuga, Uzumaki. His voice was calm, controlled, but there was something underneath it, something sharp. I was expecting you. Naruto didn't move immediately. His instincts flared, not danger, but tension. Where are you? Hayashi stepped aside just enough. Come in. Naruto stepped forward, crossing the threshold. The moment he did, he felt it. Pressure. Not physical, not visible. But there, watching him, measuring him. His eyes flickered for a split second. That red glow threatened to return. Then, it stopped. Because he saw her. Hinata stood just behind Hayashi, dressed in soft lavender, her presence. Gentle, familiar. But her posture, different. More composed, more aware. And yet, when their eyes met, everything else faded. Naruto-kun. His chest tightened. Hina. For a moment, nothing else mattered. Until Hayashi spoke again. You've changed. Naruto didn't look away from Hinata, so I've been told. Hayashi's gaze sharpened. I wonder how much. That made Naruto look at him. And in that moment, something passed between them. Hayashi saw it. That flicker, that depth, that thing behind Naruto's eyes. And for the first time, the Hyuga clan head's expression shifted. Not to anger, not to disdain, but to something far more dangerous. Interest. Walk with me. It wasn't a request. Hinata tensed slightly. Father. It's fine. Naruto's voice cut in, calm, steady. Too steady. Hinata hesitated, then nodded reluctantly. Naruto followed Hayashi deeper into the estate. Each a step, heavier than the last. Behind him, Hinata watched, her hands clenched tightly, because she felt it too. That same thing she had felt in the park. That presence inside him was awake, and it was reacting. Not to her this time, but to her father. Naruto stopped. Hayashi turned. Silence stretched between them. You carry something, Hayashi said bluntly. Naruto didn't deny it. Yeah. Hayashi's eyes narrowed, the Byakugan flickered. Veins rising around his eyes. He saw it. Not just chakra. Layers. Something coiled. Something fused too perfectly. Something that didn't belong. Well, interesting. Well, Naruto's lips twitched slightly. You're not afraid. Well, Hayashi deactivated his Byakugan. Fear is for the unprepared. Well, the pause. But I am cautious. Well, Naruto stepped forward slightly. And for the first time, that red glow surfaced fully. Oh, good. Well, the air shifted. Pressure rising. Unseen but overwhelming. Behind them, Hinata's breath hitched. Because she understood now. This wasn't just a meeting. This was a test. And something deep inside Naruto was ready to answer it.
Naruto walked into Hyuga estate, ready to see Hinata, but instead of peace, he found something else waiting for him. He asked Hyuga, watching him, testing him, and in that moment, he saw it. The truth Naruto could not hide anymore. Something inside Naruto is not just power, it's something deeper, something fused, something watching back. And now, for the first time, it did not react to Hinata, it reacted to her father. So the real question is, why did Hiyashi see inside Naruto? And why did it awaken something even more dangerous? Chapter 5 is where the real test begins.
Chapter 5. The air inside the Hyuga estate hadn't eased, not after the tension, not after the silent clash between two forces that never touched, but clearly collided. Naruto stood still, facing Hayashi, but this wasn't about dominance anymore, not entirely. Because Hayashi had already seen enough. Come. His voice cut through the silence, not hostile, not welcoming, measured. Naruto followed without hesitation. Behind them, Hinata lingered for a second, her heart still racing, not from fear of her father, but from what she had seen in Naruto's eyes. Then she moved, quietly, carefully. They entered a secluded room deep within the estate, traditional, orderly, a low table centered between them. Hayashi gestured. Was it? Naruto obeyed. Hinata hesitated, then took her place beside her father, slightly behind, as always. But her attention never left Naruto. Tea was poured slowly, deliberately. The silence stretched. Then, I will speak plainly. Naruto met his gaze. Good. Hayashi's eyes sharpened slightly. I do not trust you. No hesitation, no disguise. Hinata flinched. Naruto didn't react, not outwardly. I didn't expect you to, he replied calmly. That answer wasn't what Hayashi anticipated. And yet, Hayashi continued, you came here anyway. Naruto leaned forward slightly, because she's here. No shame, no hesitation. Hinata's breath caught. Hayashi watched closely, not the words, but the intent behind them. Then, I observed you last night. Naruto's expression didn't change, but something behind his eyes shifted. You were outside this estate. Hayashi's voice remained even, far longer than necessary for a simple farewell. Hinata turned bright red instantly. Father. He raised a hand, silencing her. I also observed something else. That made Naruto focus. Hayashi leaned slightly forward, your chakra. The room grew colder. It is not normal. Naruto exhaled slowly. Yeah. No denial. Hinata's eyes widened. Hayashi's gaze sharpened. You don't hide it. Naruto met his eyes. What's the point? Silent. Then, something unexpected happened. Hayashi leaned back. and poured another cup of tea. You make this difficult. Hinata blinked at father. Hayashi didn't look at her. For years I have watched you. He spoke calmly. To the village you were an outcast. To your peers a nuisance. Naruto didn't interrupt. But to her, Hayashi's eyes shifted slightly toward Hinata. You were something else entirely. Hinata froze. I have seen my daughter break under pressure. His voice lowered slightly, lose confidence, lose direction. The pause. But when she spoke of you. Another pause. She endured. Naruto's gaze softened just slightly. Hayashi returned his attention to him, and now she stands differently. Hinata straightened unconsciously. Stronger, not by power but by presence. That is not something I ignore. The tension shifted. Not gone but redirected. Hayashi placed the cup down, so I will set a condition. Naruto didn't move. Go on. If you intend to remain in her life. Hayashi's voice sharpened. Then you will not become the reason she breaks. Silent, heavy, Naruto held his gaze. And for the first time, there was no flicker of red. I won't. Not as a promise. As a fact. Hayashi studied him long, careful. Then, we will see. He stood. Conversation over. But as he walked past, he paused. Whatever you are carrying. Naruto's eyes shifted slightly. Keep it under control. A beat. Because if you don't. Hayashi's presence sharpened. I will. Then he left. The door closed. Silent. Hinata exhaled. A breath she didn't realize she was holding. Then, without thinking, she moved straight into Naruto. Her arms wrapped around him tightly. You came. Naruto blinked, then relaxed. Of course I did. Her grip tightened slightly. For a moment, everything else faded again. But this time, Naruto was aware of it. The warmth, and the thing inside him. Watching it, Hina, she looked up. Their faces close, too close. And yet, neither moved away. I meant what I said. Her heart raced. I know, she whispered. Naruto lined in. Then stopped, just before, because that presence stirred again. Not violently, but curiously, as if learning. Naruto pulled back slightly. Hinata noticed Naruto-kun. He smiled, soft, controlled. Let's take it slow. Her expression softened, then nodded. Okay. But neither of them noticed. From the shadows outside, a pair of eyes watching. Not hostile, not protective, entrusted, and far away. Deep beneath the surface of Konoha. Something responded. To him, the presence didn't fade, it lingered, watching, learning. Even as Naruto stood beside Hinata, even as her warmth grounded him. Something inside him remained awake. Hinata shifted slightly, her fingers still intertwined with his. Did you do anything else today? Her voice was soft, almost hesitant, like she was trying to steady herself after everything that had happened. Naruto blinked, then scratched the back of his head lightly. Yeah, a lot, actually. He glanced upward for a moment, thinking. I ran into someone from Kiba's family, helped her carry some stuff back home. A pause, she acted kinda weird, though. Hinata tilted her head slightly. Weird. Naruto frowned faintly, like she was looking at me like she was trying to figure something out. Not attraction, not exactly. Something closer to curiosity or recognition. Naruto's expression darkened for just a second. I've been getting that a lot. Hinata noticed, of course she did. Her grip tightened slightly. Well, you've changed. Naruto exhaled slowly. Yeah. A quiet pause settled between them. But Hinata didn't let it grow heavy. She stepped closer instead, smiling softly. You're still you. That made him look at her. And for a moment, the weight inside him shifted, quieted. Yeah, he said softly, I am. She nodded, satisfied. Come on, Naruto added after a moment, forcing a lighter tone. Let's get out of here. Hinata's smile brightened instantly. Our spot. Naruto smirked. Our spot. The park hadn't changed. The same tree, the same quiet, the same place where everything began to shift between them. Naruto sat first, leaning back against the trunk. Hinata followed without hesitation, this time. No nervousness. No distance. She settled against him naturally, like she belonged there. Naruto wrapped an arm around her, holding her close. Minutes passed, maybe more. Neither of them spoke much. They didn't need to. But beneath it, Naruto could feel it again. That presence. Not reacting, not interfering. Observing. Why her? The thought wasn't fully his. Naruto's grip tightened slightly. Hinata noticed Naru-kun. He blinked, sorry. She shook her head gently, it's okay. And just like that, the moment softened again. Time passed, the sky darkened further. Eventually, they stood, walking back slowly, neither wanting it to end. But the village waited, reality waited. They stopped just before the Hyuga district again. The same place, the same quiet. Naruto looked at her, tomorrow. Hinata nodded, tomorrow. A small pause. Then, she stepped forward. Their foreheads touched. Not rushed, not desperate. Just close. I love you, she whispered. Naruto closed his eyes briefly. I know. Then, softer. I love you too. A gentle kiss followed, short, meaningful. And then, they separated. Hinata turned, walking back toward the estate. Naruto stayed there a moment longer, watching. Until she disappeared. Only then did his expression change. The softness vanished. You felt that. Silence. Then, a faint ripple inside him. Agreement. Naruto's eyes darkened. Yeah. He turned, walking back into the village alone. Time passed, days blurred, then weeks. And slowly, life settled. Missions resumed, teams reformed, routine returned. On the surface, everything was normal. But underneath, things had changed. Naruto and Hinata were inseparable. Not loudly, not dramatically, but constantly. Walking together, training together, existing side by side. And people noticed. Some admired it, some envied it. Because what they had felt real. But not everyone saw everything. Not everyone felt what lay beneath. One evening, the village streets glowed under fading sunlight. Naruto walked ahead, Hinata beside him. Her steps slowed, fatigue catching up. Naruto noticed immediately, "You're tired." She shook her head lightly. I'm fine." Before she could finish, he crouched slightly. "Get on." Hinata blinked, "Naru-kun." He glanced back, smiling, "Just do it." She hesitated, then, slowly, wrapped her arms around him. Naruto stood, lifting her effortlessly, and kept walking. Hinata rested her head against his shoulder, eyes closing. Saifu watched from afar. It looked simple, peaceful. But inside Naruto, that presence stirred again. Not violently, but with growing interest. Because the closer she got, the stronger it became. And Naruto was starting to realize, this wasn't coincidence anymore. Later, inside his apartment, Hinata slept peacefully. Naruto stood by the window, looking out at the village. "It's getting stronger." The words were quiet, but not unanswered. "Yes." Naruto's eyes narrowed. "Why her?" Silent. Then, "Because she can reach you." Naruto froze. For the first time, it had answered, and far below the village, something else shifted, responding, waiting. The answer didn't fade because she can reach you. It stayed echoing, growing heavier with each passing moment. Naruto stood by the window long after Hinata had fallen asleep, watching the village, but not really seeing it. "Reach me how?" No response, not this time. His jaw tightened. "You don't just get to say things like that and go quiet." Silent. Then, a faint pulse. Not words, but intent. "So," Naruto exhaled sharply. "I hate that answer." Behind him, Hinata shifted in bed, soft, restless. And instantly, that presence quieted again. Naruto noticed, of course he did. His eyes softened slightly as he turned, looking at her. Peaceful, unaware. "You're the only thing keeping this quiet." That realization settled deeper than anything else. Not strength, not control. Hard. Naruto moved closer to the bed, careful, quiet. But before he could sit, a voice cut through the silence. "Uzumaki." Naruto didn't flinch. "Yeah." Hayashi stood in the doorway, silent as ever, watching. "Walk with me." Again, not a request. Naruto glanced back at Hinata, still asleep. Then nodded. They stepped out, closing the door behind them. The halls of the Hyuga estate were quiet. Too quiet. Hayashi didn't speak immediately, didn't look at him. But Naruto could feel it. That same pressure as before. Only now, more focused. They entered the study. Familiar, controlled. Hayashi stopped, turned. "You've been spending a lot of time here." Naruto shrugged slightly. "Yeah." Hayashi's gaze sharpened. "And every night it takes longer for you to leave." Naruto didn't deny it. "I don't see a problem with that." Hayashi's expression didn't change, but his presence did. "I don't either." That caught Naruto off guard. "Then why am I here?" The pause. Then, because I need to know something. Naruto's eyes narrowed slightly. Hayashi stepped closer. Are you planning to stay? The question lingered. Not about the estate. Not about tonight. Something deeper. Naruto didn't answer immediately. Then, yeah. No hesitation. Hayashi studied him long, careful. Good. Naruto blinked. I've observed enough. Hayashi continued calmly. Your presence hasn't destabilized her. Naruto's gaze sharpened slightly. If anything, Hayashi added, it's done the opposite. That Naruto understood. She's stronger, he said quietly. Hayashi nodded once. Which is why I've made a decision. The air shifted. Naruto straightened slightly. Hayashi's voice remained calm but firm. Hinata will not remain confined to this estate forever. Naruto's eyes flickered. She needs to live beyond these walls. The pause. And you. Hayashi looked directly at him. Are already part of that world. Naruto's breath slowed. So, Hayashi didn't look away. If you intend to remain in her life, a beat, then you will take responsibility for it. Silent. Naruto understood. Fully, you're saying. Hayashi nodded once. She should stay with you. The words landed heavy. Naruto didn't react immediately. Not outwardly, but inside. That presence surged. Interested. Naruto clenched his fist slightly. Yeah. A simple answer, but solid. Hayashi extended his hand. Then we are in agreement. Naruto looked at it, then shook it. Firm, real. The decision was made. From the hallway, footsteps, Hinata, Naru-kun. She stepped into view, confused, curious. What's going on? Naruto turned toward her. And for the first time since all of this began, he smiled, a real one. Pack your things. She blinked. What? You're coming with me. Silent. Then, her eyes widened. Are really? She looked at Hayashi. He nodded. That was enough. Hinata moved instantly, closing the distance, throwing her arms around Naruto. Thank you. Naruto caught her easily. Yeah. But as he held her, that presence inside him stirred again. Stronger this time. Not resisting. Not fighting. Watching. Learning. Because now, she wouldn't just be near him. She would be with him. Every day. Every night. And something deep inside Naruto was very interested in what would happen next.
Hinata made her choice, and this time there no distance left between them. No wall, no limit. She's moving in with Naruto. What started as love is now becoming smoothing deeper, something constant. But here is the problem: the closer Hinata gets, the stronger it becomes. That thing inside Naruto is not fading anymore. It's watching, learning, waiting. And now that Hinata will be by his side every single day, what will it do next? Will she be the one to save him? Or the region he lost control completely? Chapter 5 is where everything changes.
Chapter 6. The answer echoed. Because she can reach you. And no, Naruto was starting to understand just how deep that truth went. It wasn't sudden, it wasn't loud. It was slow, quiet. Their lives began to intertwine in ways that felt permanent. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. And somewhere along the way, the line between him and them blurred. Hinata was no longer just someone he met at the gates, or walked home under the moonlight. She became part of his space, his routine, his everyday. And that presence inside him watched it all. It started with something simple. A memory. Naruto stood alone in the apartment one afternoon. The silence felt different, not empty, but full. His eyes drifted to the small table near the window. 2 cups, not one. A faint smile touched his lips. Yeah. That was when the thought came, clear, focused. I don't want this to end. Not the day, not the moment. Not her. And for once, that presence didn't interfere. It listened. The next memory surfaced like a quiet wave. Naruto standing outside a familiar door, knocking. Sakura opened it, Naruto. He didn't waste time, I need your help. That alone was enough to catch her attention. Inside, Ino joined them quickly, curious, suspicious. Naruto stood there, hands clenched slightly. I'm going to ask Hinata to stay with me. Silence. Then, explosion. Sakura's eyes widened, Ino's jaw dropped. Wait, what? Naruto scratched his cheek awkwardly. I mean, properly. Understanding hit instantly. And just like that, the mood shifted. Excitement, shock, emotion. You're serious? Sakura asked. Naruto nodded, yeah. Ino grinned, oh, this is happening. Naruto exhaled, I want it to be perfect. And just like that, a plan was born. The next day, everything moved quietly, carefully. Naruto stepped out early, leaving behind a simple excuse. But his movements were precise, deliberate. Meanwhile, Hinata remained unaware. A knock. She opened the door. Sakura Ino. Smiling too much. We're kidnapping you. Hinata blinked, what? Before she could react. They pulled her out, laughing, dragging her into a day she didn't understand. Relaxation, conversation, distraction. All carefully planned. All leading to one moment. Evening fell. The sky darkened. And the park waited. Naruto stood beneath the tree, still. Dressed differently, prepared. For something more than just another night. Footsteps approached. 3 figures. 2 slowed, 1 continued. Hinata. She stepped forward, confused, curious. Naru-kun. Naruto turned. And for a moment, everything else disappeared. You came. She tilted her head slightly. Of course I did. Behind her, Sakura and Ino quietly slipped away, leaving them alone. The air shifted. Naruto stepped closer, took her hands. His grip, firm but gentle. There's something I need to say. Hinata's heart began to race. The way he looked at her. It was different. Deeper. I don't want this to just be moments anymore. Her breath caught. I don't want to keep wondering when you'll leave or when I'll have to. The pause. I want you here. Another step closer. With me. Hinata's eyes widened. Naru. He didn't let her finish. Stay. One word. Simple, but it carried everything. Silent. Then. Yes. No hesitation, no doubt. Just truth. Naruto exhaled, relief flooding through him. He pulled her into an embrace. Tight, real. And for a moment, everything felt right. But inside, that presence stirred again. Stronger. Not resisting. Not fighting. Accepting. And somewhere deep within, it whispered, good. Hinata rested her head against his chest, eyes closed, unaware that this moment wasn't just the beginning of their life together. It was the moment something else stepped closer to the surface. The whisper didn't fade, good, it echoed. Not in approval of love, but of what that love was becoming. The day arrived quietly, too quietly. Konoha stood still beneath a clear sky, no explosions, no tremors. Just anticipation. Naruto stood at the end of the aisle, still, but not calm. His hands trembled slightly at his sides, his breathing uneven. Not from fear of battle, but from something far more terrifying. This is real. Beside him stood those who had walked alongside him through everything. Shikamaru relaxed but observant, Choji smiling warmly, Neji silent but watchful. Across from them, Sakura Ino Tenten. And at the center, Tsunade. Her eyes lingered on Naruto longer than anyone else's, taking him in, measuring the distance between the boy he was and the man standing here now. You've grown too fast, she thought quietly. But she said nothing, because today wasn't about her. The music began, soft, steady. Naruto's breath caught. The world narrowed. And then she appeared, Hinata, walking forward slowly, each step careful, each movement graceful. Her eyes found him instantly. And in that moment, everything else disappeared. Naruto's heartbeat roared in his ears. She's real. Not a dream, not a memory. Here now. Hinata's lips curved into a soft smile, nervous but certain. When she reached him, time stopped. Tsunade cleared her throat lightly, bringing them back. We'll keep this simple. A small smile touched her lips. Naruto barely heard her. His eyes never left Hinata. Do you accept this bond? I do. His answer came instantly, without hesitation. Hinata's voice followed, soft but unwavering. I do. The words settled, final. Tsunade exhaled slowly. Then from this moment forward, she paused, looking between them. You walk as one. A beat. You may sail it. Naruto didn't rush, not this time. He stepped forward slowly and kissed her. Not desperate, not overwhelming. Just real. A promise. When they pulled apart, something shifted. Not just between them. Inside him. That presence stirred again. Not violently, but with recognition. Bound, Naruto's fingers tightened slightly around hers. Hinata noticed Naru-kun. He blinked, the moment returning. I'm here. She smiled, trusting. always trusting. The ceremony ended, voices rose, laughter followed. But Naruto barely heard it. Because for the first time, he felt it clearly. That thing inside him was no longer just watching. It was awaiting. Later, the noise faded, the village quieted. Naruto stood at the doorway of their home. Their home. Hinata beside him. A new beginning. Lord, something else entirely. He opened the door and stepped inside. The air shifted instantly. Subtle but undeniable. Hinata paused. Do you feel that? Naruto didn't answer. Because he did. More than before. Stronger, closer. Like something had crossed a line. The moment they said I do, Naruto's expression darkened slightly. Yeah. And deep within him. That voice returned, clearer than ever. Now it begins. Naruto and Hinata are finally married. A bond built on years of love, trust, and sacrifice. For them, it was the beginning of everything, but for Asterisk, something inside Naruto. It was the trigger, the moment they said, I do. That presence didn't resist. It didn't fight, it accepted Asterisk, and then it spoke. Now it begins. So what does that mean? What exactly has been awakened inside Naruto? And why did their love become the key to it? Chapter 6 is where everything starts to unravel. Chapter 7. The words hadn't stopped, now it begins, they echoed. Not as a warning, not as a threat, but as a promise. Honeymoon final day. Morning light spilled across the apartment, soft, warm, deceptively peaceful. Naruto sat across from Hinata at the small table, untouched food between them. Neither of them were eating. They were just looking at each other. Hinata's hair was slightly messy, her posture relaxed in a way it had never been before, comfortable, safe. Naruto couldn't look away. You look different. Hinata blinked softly, different. He nodded, stronger. Her cheeks tinted pink, but she didn't look away. That's because of you. The words settled gently between them. And for a moment, everything felt right. But beneath it, Naruto felt it again. That pull, stronger than before. Not chaotic, not unstable. Focused, hungry. His fingers twitched slightly on the table. Hinata noticed immediately, Naru-kun. He blinked, pulled back. Yeah, I'm here. But even as he said it, he wasn't fully sure that was true anymore. The air felt heavier, closer. Hinata stood slowly, moving toward him. We should rest today. Her voice was soft, careful. Not avoiding him, but sensing something. Naruto studied her long, then nodded, yeah. Because for once, he didn't trust himself. The rest of the day passed quietly, too quietly. No training, no missions. Just stillness. And that presence. Growing, not violently, but steadily. Like something reaching outward, testing the edges of its cage. By evening, Naruto couldn't ignore it anymore. I'll be back. Hinata looked up from the couch. Where are you going? Naruto hesitated. The seat, Tsunade. She nodded, trusting. Be careful. That made him pause. Always. But as he stepped out, that presence stirred again. Liar. Naruto's jaw tightened. Shut up. Hawkins Tower. The hallway felt longer than usual. Quieter. Naruto reached the door. It was slightly open, and from inside, a voice, soft, broken. Why now? Naruto stilled. Why did it have to be now? Tsunade. He pushed the door open slowly. She sat at her desk, a bottle beside her, half empty. Her head lowered, shoulders tense. Naruto. The name slipped from her lips like something fragile. You didn't have to. Naruto stepped inside, Oba-chan. She froze, then looked up. Shock, embarrassment, something deeper. Naruto-kun. He walked closer, slowly. I came to tell you I'm ready for missions again. Her expression flickered. Already. Naruto nodded, yeah. The pause. Then, did you enjoy it? The question was light, but her eyes weren't. Naruto didn't hesitate, yeah. And just like that, something in her expression broke. Not loudly, not dramatically. Just cracked. Of course you did. Her voice dropped. Naruto frowned slightly. What's wrong? Tsunade laughed softly, but it wasn't real. Nothing. Silence stretched. Then, you don't need me anymore. Naruto froze. What? She looked away. You have everything now. The pause. A life, a future, someone who... She stopped herself. Naruto stepped closer. Oba-chan. She didn't look at him. Don't. But he didn't stop. You're wrong. That made her look up. Am I? Naruto's expression hardened slightly. Yeah. Because even now, even after everything, he could feel it. That presence inside him. Reacting. Not to Hinata, but to her. Different, stronger, and far more dangerous. Naruto's eyes darkened slightly. You're not out of this. Tsunade's breath caught. Naruto. But he didn't answer. Because for the first time, he realized something terrifying. Hinata wasn't the only one connected to it. And whatever was awakening inside him was starting to reach for others. Naruto didn't move. Tsunade's words hit harder than anything else that night. Why does everyone I care about leave me? Her voice broke not as Hawkage, not as a legend, but as someone who had lost too much. Naruto stepped closer, slowly, carefully. I didn't leave. She shook her head, tears falling freely now. You did, you just don't see it yet. Naruto lowered himself to her level, for once. Not as a student, not as a shinobi, but as someone who understood pain. Tsunade-chan. The name slipped out naturally, different, softer. She froze. You didn't call me that before. Naruto met her gaze, because I didn't understand before. The pause. But I do now. Her hand lifted slowly, resting against his cheek, warm, shaking. Naruto. She leaned forward. And for a moment, he didn't move. That presence inside him. Stirred, watching, encouraging. Then, Naruto's eyes widened slightly. And he pulled back. I have to go. The moment shattered. He stood quickly, turned. and left. The door slammed open. Naru-kun. Hinata stood immediately, her eyes filled with concern. Naruto was breathing hard like he had just escaped something. I almost. He stopped, hands clenching. I almost crossed the line. Hinata stepped closer, gently. Tell me. And he did. Every word, every moment. The silence after was heavy, but not tense. Hinata didn't react with anger, didn't step away. She simply listened. I'm sorry, Naruto finished quietly. I didn't mean to. Naru-kun. Her voice stopped him. Soft but certain. You didn't do anything wrong. Naruto blinked. What? Hinata looked down for a moment, thinking. Then back at him. She's hurting. The words were simple but heavy. She lost everyone one by one. Naruto's expression softened slightly. And now, Hinata continued, she thinks she's losing you too. Silent. Naruto exhaled slowly. I'm not leaving her. I know. Hinata stepped closer, placing her hand over his. That's why you should go back. Naruto froze. What? She needs someone right now. Hinata. She shook her head gently. I trust you. That hit deeper than anything else. I know who you are. She smiled softly, and I know who you chose. Naruto's chest tightened. You. Hinata nodded. Always. The pause. Then, go to her. Naruto hesitated, still unsure. But then, that presence inside him shifted again. Not pushing, not forcing, but aligning. Naruto closed his eyes briefly. Welcome back. Hinata smiled, I know. The walk back felt different. He wasn't running this time. He wasn't escaping. He was choosing. The door creaked open. Tsunade hadn't moved. Still at her desk, still broken. Naruto. Her voice was barely there. He stepped forward, slow, steady. I'm here. That was all it took. She moved instantly, closing the distance, gripping onto him like she might fall apart if she didn't. I'm sorry, she whispered. I didn't mean. Naruto shook his head. You don't have to apologize. She pulled back slightly, looking at him. Then why did you come back? Naruto held her gaze. Because you knighted me. Silent. Then, something shifted. Not forced, not rushed. Just understood. Naruto reached up, resting his hand lightly against her shoulder. You're not alone. Tsunade's breath trembled. For the first time in years. She believed it. But behind Naruto's eyes, that red flicker returned. Stronger. Because now, it wasn't just observing. It was learning how to connect. Through emotion. Through vulnerability. Through people. And this time, it didn't feel like an accident. Naruto didn't pull away, not this time. The distance between them disappeared. Not in hesitation, but in something far more dangerous. Tsunade's hands gripped his shoulders as if grounding herself in something real, something she hadn't felt in years. Her breath was uneven, her composure gone. Naruto's touch was firm, uncertain at first. Then steadier. because something inside him was guiding it, not forcing, not controlling, but learning. The room grew heavier, thicker. Every emotion amplified: loneliness, relief, desperation, and something darker beneath it all. Tsunade's eyes closed as she leaned into him, her voice barely a whisper. "Don't disappear too." Naruto's expression shifted for a moment. He looked like himself again. "I will." But even as he said it, that presence inside him pulsed. Watching, the moment deepened, blurred, not defined by clarity, but by intensity. Time seemed to fold in on itself. And then, silence, heavy breathing, stillness. Naruto stepped back slowly. His chest rose and fell as if he had just run miles. But he hadn't moved. Tsunade steadied herself against the desk, her expression unreadable. Not regret, not relief. Something else. Her medical instincts had already begun working, even now, even in this state. She could feel it. Something was off. Not in the act, but in him. Her gaze flickered briefly. Analyzing, remembering. Naruto. He didn't respond immediately, because he felt it too. That presence. Satisfied, but not finished. Naruto turned away slightly, running a hand through his hair. "I should go." Tsunade didn't stop him, but her eyes followed him. Careful, focused. Because now, she wasn't just seeing Naruto. She was seeing something else beneath him. Something she didn't understand yet. And that scared her more than anything. Naruto stepped out into the hallway. The air felt colder, sharper. He exhaled slowly. "What did you do?" Silence. Then, "I only helped." Naruto's eyes darkened. That wasn't helping. No response. But deep down, he knew the truth. It wasn't forcing him. It was amplifying him. Every emotion, every impulse. Turning them into something harder to control. Naruto clenched his fists. "I'm not losing myself." But even as he said it, he wasn't sure anymore. The apartment. The door opened quietly. Hinata looked up immediately. Her eyes searched his face. Not judging. Understanding. "You came back." Naruto nodded. "I said I would." She stood slowly, walking toward him. And without asking, she wrapped her arms around him, holding him, not tightly, but firmly enough to remind him. He wasn't alone. Naruto closed his eyes. For the first time since leaving, that presence inside him went quiet, completely, but far away. Inside the Hawkage Tower, Tsunade stood alone, holding on to a single thought. That wasn't normal. Her eyes narrowed slightly, because whatever Naruto had become was no longer something she could simply protect. It was something she might have to stop. I can't continue that scene in its current explicit form, but I can absolutely keep the story going with the same dark, intense tone, emotional depth, and narrative progression, just without graphic detail. Here, the continuation rewritten to fit your rules and keep the story powerful. Hinata sat alone in the apartment, but her thoughts were anything but quiet. She knew where Naruto had gone, she knew why. And yet, A strange feeling twisted inside her chest. Not anger, not betrayal. Something far more confusing. Why does it feel like this? Her fingers tightened slightly against her sleeve, her breathing uneven. Images formed in her mind. Not clear, not real. But enough. Naruto, Tsunade. Together. Hinata's cheeks flushed deeply, her heart racing faster than it should. This isn't right. But her body didn't agree. The more she tried to push it away, the stronger it became. A pull, a curiosity she couldn't explain. Her eyes slowly activated, veins rising faintly around them. The world shifted, expanded, and suddenly, she could see, far beyond the walls, far beyond the distance, the Hawkins Tower, a single room. Naruto. Hinata froze. I should. But she didn't stop. Because now, it wasn't just curiosity. It was something deeper. Something darker. Something her father once warned her about. A side of the Byakugan few ever spoke of. So this is it. Her voice was barely a whisper. Not evil, but dangerous. Because it didn't feel wrong. It felt natural. Her breath hitched. And then she shut her eyes, forcing it to stop. No. Her hands trembled. I trust him. That mattered more than anything else. More than curiosity, more than impulse. More than whatever this was. The door opened. Naruto stepped inside. He paused immediately. Something felt off. Different. Not in the room. In her. Hina-chan. Hinata turned toward him. Her expression softened instantly. But her eyes still held something new. You're back. Naruto nodded slowly. Yeah. The pause. Then, are you okay? Hinata stepped closer. I am. And she meant it. But not completely. Because now, she understood something. Something important. Their bond wasn't just emotional anymore. It was connected, in ways neither of them fully understood. Naruto reached out gently, pulling her into an embrace. And just like that, that presence inside him went silent again, as if recognizing her, as if responding to her. Naruto's grip tightened slightly. It's getting stronger. Hinata looked up at him. Then we face it together. No hesitation, no fear. Just certainty. But far away. Inside the Hawkins Tower. Tsunade stood alone. Her expression no longer clouded by emotion, but by calculation. Because she had felt it too. Something in Naruto had changed, and whatever it was beginning to affect everyone around him. Naruto felt the shift before he understood it. Hinata clung to him tightly, her breathing uneven, her body trembling as if something had overwhelmed her all at once. Then suddenly, she went still. Hinata. For a split second, fear cut through everything. Naruto pulled back slightly, his voice sharper now. Hina-chan. Her eyes fluttered, then slowly opened. Relief hit him instantly. You're okay. Hinata blinked, disoriented. What happened? Naruto exhaled. You just blacked out for a second. She went quiet, processing. Then her expression shifted. Embarrassment, hesitation. Naru-kun. Naruto immediately softened. Yeah. Hinata looked away briefly, her fingers tightening slightly against his arm. I need to tell you something. The tone alone told him this mattered. Naruto nodded. Go on. The pause. Then, when you left. Her voice grew quieter. I couldn't stop thinking. Naruto didn't interrupt. I tried to ignore it, but it just kept getting stronger. She took a breath. So I used my Byakugan. Naruto froze. Hinata. I know, she said quickly, her voice almost breaking. I know I shouldn't have, but I couldn't stop myself. Silence filled the room. I saw you. The words barely made it out. Naruto's expression didn't turn angry, didn't turn cold. Just focus. Wide. Hinata finally looked at him. Her eyes weren't ashamed. Just confused. I don't fully understand. The pause. But it felt like something was pulling me to look. Naruto's chest tightened. Because that sounded familiar. And when I did, her voice dropped again. I couldn't look away. Naruto exhaled slowly. You're not in trouble. Hinata blinked. You're not upset. Naruto shook his head. No. But his eyes darkened slightly. I'm worried. That hit her harder than anger ever could. I might too. They sat in silence for a moment. Then Hinata spoke again. My father once told me something. Naruto looked at her. That the Byakugan has a side to it people don't talk about. Her fingers tightened. A part of it that can pull you into things you shouldn't see. Naruto's mind connected the pieces instantly. And now it's happening. Hinata nodded. Yes. Another silence. But this one was different. Heavier. Because now, it wasn't just Naruto. It was spreading. Naruto reached for her, pulling her close again. Then we deal with it. Hinata leaned into him. Together. Naruto didn't hesitate. Always. That presence inside him stirred again. But this time, it didn't push. It didn't amplify. It observed. Because now, there were two of them. And something was beginning to connect them both. Hinata let out a soft breath, her body finally relaxing. I'm tired. Naruto gave a small, tired smile. Yeah, me too. They lay back together. No tension, no distance. Just quiet. But beneath it, the connection remained. Stronger than before. Then far away. Something unseen shifted. As if acknowledging that this was no longer just about Naruto.
That's all for now. If you enjoy this video, then please like, share and do comments.